Alright, all you W keys and bronzes, we're trying out something new. I'm going to explain to you why you're scared of ranked. No longer the days of loading up ranked and being scared of loading into a match. I'm going to give you the rundown on how you can play more competitively and, more importantly, how to enjoy it. Before we get into that, I wanted to say if you're enjoying these types of videos, please consider subscribing and leaving a like down below. It really helps me a ton, and it lets me know if you want to see more videos like this. Alright, now back to the video. So, let me ask you, the last time you went to load into ranked, did you feel cold? Maybe your heart sped up? Or was it your breathing? What I'm getting at is, you're scared of ranked. Alright boys, we can pack it up, we're done here. I'm joking. You're scared of ranked because it's a bit more complicated than that. You've got ladder anxiety. No, it's not fear of ladders if that's what you're thinking, although I can see where you would make the mistake. Ladder anxiety is the anxiety you feel when you're faced with climbing the ladder. It's the fear of not progressing or, worse, regressing. And although that sounds simple, there can be tons of different reasons why you're scared of it. But have no fear, I've got answers to your questions. First, let's start with an example, and because I've been real deep into it recently, I'll use Apex as an example. I used to be somewhat scared of ranked on Apex, for a few reasons. I didn't want to lose RP, I wasn't confident in my abilities, and in general, I felt like I would be a bit of a weight on my team, dragging them down. So, I started to do some of my old techniques to figure out what I could do to improve. First off, I looked at what was making me worry. I used to use some aim trainers that I was interested in, and began to practice. See, the first thing that came to mind for me was the thought I needed to practice my mechanics to get better. If I can just kill them faster, I can win any fight, right? But the problem with that is, yes, it can help your aim for sure, but aim trainers don't give you game sense or experience. So even though you can hit targets really well, you might crack under the pressure in the moment. Alright, so that one might have been a bit of a bust, but at least I can track way better now. See, the problem with ladder anxiety isn't the matches, but rather your mindset. Ranked is tough to get into for many because we associate our skills with our rank. Makes sense, right? That number or that rank is a direct correlation to how good you are at the game. Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. You see, just because you're in silver or gold doesn't mean you're a bad player or bad at the game. It just means you haven't gotten comfortable with it yet. But ranked goes beyond just being comfortable when playing the game. Ranked is the pinnacle of learning these games. When you start playing ranked, you might think everyone is taking this seriously and you don't want to let your team down. Or maybe you're afraid of your friends seeing your rank and talking shit. But that's unwarranted pressure, and if any of your friends do talk shit, here's what you do. First, call them dog water, and then second, tell them their KD is the same amount of girls they've talked to. Alright, I'm joking. Kind of. It's a lot more of everyone trying to learn more about the game, as well as their weaknesses. You want to succeed and improve your skills, but there's never an overnight pro in games. Those you see wrecking the competition have hundreds if not thousands of hours on these games. They put in the time and figured out their own weaknesses, as well as their strengths. But I want to get better now, you might be saying. My friend is already in Diamond or Plat, and I've seen him play, and I want to be like him. But you have to ask yourself, how long has this friend been playing? Did he just get into the game? Or has he been playing before you and has been playing for a handful of months already? Maybe you both started at the same time, but his rank shot up quicker than an 11-year-old building on Fortnite. You see, the problem with ladder anxiety stems from us loading up ranked and feeling pressure to perform in a certain way. The way you break out of that pressure can be done in a few different ways. So now that you know what it is you're feeling when you load into ranked, let's change that mindset. Step 1 to getting over ladder anxiety is don't take the game that seriously. It's a game. We're all playing for fun and to relax, hang out, etc, etc. You don't have to feel like you're under pressure anytime you load up competitive. So the first step to breaking that habit is to play more ranked. Wait, really? Yes. We get this idea in our heads that our rank is supposed to be something higher than we are at. And that pressure we face when loading into ranked is something you are only dealing with because you haven't played as much ranked. Look at it like this, if you change your outlook on ranked from, oh man, we lost that match, I'm worried it will happen again, then you're looking at it all wrong. With ranked, a win feels great, right? You showed your skills off and were able to outplay the other player or team. But let me ask you, what did you learn from that victory? What's that? You just outplayed them? There isn't anything to learn from it? That's the problem. Ranked is much more than just the wins. It's about the losses just as much, if not more. The losses teach you about your mistakes, even more so than the victories. When you lose your next match, don't just back out to lobby and jump right into the next one. Take some time to understand why you're feeling this way. Did you get outplayed? Maybe you had someone who was negative from the jump and you got tilted. Or maybe you were just playing too aggressively. There are a myriad of reasons why that match was a loss. But let me ask you, what have you done to learn from your losses? In order to grow at a game, you need a few things. You need to have a good understanding of the systems, you need to understand how to anticipate the situation, or when to play on the offensive rather than playing on defense. Taking time to learn from your losses. We get this idea in our minds that every ranked match we have to win, and that is a toxic mindset in all honesty. Realize that you will lose matches, but analyze yourself and what mistakes you made rather than blaming your team or calling the enemies hackers. Oh, you lost a few matches in a row and are feeling discouraged? Well, here's my tip. Stop playing while you're ahead. Okay, I know someone watching this is saying that defeats the whole point. How will I learn if I'm not playing, but I need to play more to get comfortable? I'm not saying give up the game completely, but rather take a break. Get up and step away from the game and have a snack or watch something you enjoy, but don't just completely turn your mind away from the game. Think about your mistakes and how you could have changed the outcome of your matches. Once a little bit of time has gone by and you've thought about what you could have done differently, come back to the game when you feel like you're ready. You give yourself enough time to reset, so to speak. You're coming at the game with a fresh mindset, and now going to be on the lookout for those mistakes. And you will be making a conscious effort to avoid repeating them. Here's another quick tip for dealing with ladder anxiety for you. Try putting on some music to listen to, something you already know, and listen to it at a low volume. This gives your mind something else to latch onto during matches so you don't end up stressing out over the game when things start going poorly. But very specifically, it has to be music you have heard before, because you won't lose focus of the game when you are listening to something you already know while playing. Take notes on your play. Did you make a mistake during that fight? Could you have utilized part of your abilities better and hadn't realized it? Good. Take that thought and write it down, whether it is in a notebook, a phone, or hell, if you're like me, make a spreadsheet. One of my biggest tricks to understanding what I'm doing wrong in a game is to take a mindset of studying my gameplay. What could I have done differently to change the outcome of those matches? And where could I change my playstyle to incorporate these changes? I do this in battle royales by inputting data from each of my matches. I'll take a quick minute after each match and put in the information that I feel is important. Did I push too aggressively and left my teammates behind? Or maybe I wasn't focused on the right things. Specifically, be honest and look at what you did wrong. Don't just blame others. Writing these notes down helped me learn from my mistakes and aided me in playing smarter overall. I began to identify where I could make changes to how I play, and I started to keep them in mind when I was in similar matches in the future. This helped me immensely with figuring out why I was losing and ultimately what I was overlooking during my matches. Last but not least, remember that it's just a game. We're playing them to have fun, and even though it is fun to win and be the best, learning to love the process or love the grind is part of the game. We play these games to enjoy the competition and get better at them, but that shouldn't be the only goal you have in mind when you're playing. You should enjoy the experience of climbing the ladder and overcoming your own personal challenges along the way. Learn to love growing your unique playstyle and overcoming your own challenges, and then you will start to love rank too. Oh, and don't forget, have fun. It's a game. We all need those bitter defeats in order to make those victories that much sweeter. Peace.
I wanna be the greatest, stunting into something, I just wanna be a slayer. I just wanna give a vibe and I just wanna make it. I just gotta win, don't give a fuck about the fakest. Go against the grain, ain't really done that. Farthest thing away from a hood rat, but know a thing or two about that life. But with you it's fully life, don't care about the struggle or the waiting edge. With you I'm blessed, it's real that I can even make